Hello, welcome to Abortion 101. My name is Sarah Borgen, and I'm a passionate abortion health and rights activist. Today, I will be guiding you through some facts about abortion. Often, when discussing abortion, our attention is diverted to issues of morality before we actually understand the basics of abortion. But before we can define what is abortion, we must first define what is pregnancy. Every month, an egg bursts out of an ovary and makes its way down the fallopian tube. By chance, sperm makes its way to the egg and fertilization occurs in the fallopian tubes. Most of the time, the fertilized egg continues its journey down the fallopian tube to the uterus, which can take about 2 to 4 days. 50% of these fertilized eggs never attach to the uterus's lining and naturally flow out of the body with menstruation. The other half do attach to the uterine lining. This is when pregnancy starts and the woman's body begins the pregnancy process. Here is the definition of abortion. Abortion is the voluntary ending of a pregnancy. This definition is very important because it helps us define what is and what isn't an abortion. For instance, birth control and emergency contraceptives are not abortion-causing drugs. That is because they prevent pregnancy. They do not end a pregnancy. The same goes for a miscarriage. Medical terminology calls a miscarriage a spontaneous abortion, and this may lead to some confusion. But here in the definition voluntary is where we realize that a miscarriage is not an abortion either, because miscarriages are involuntary. So we have talked a lot about what abortion is not. So let's dive further into what abortion is. Here you can see that abortion has been divided into several groups. The first one up here, legal and illegal, refers to abortion in terms of the law. Safe and unsafe, abortion in terms of health, and accessible and inaccessible is how accessible is abortion within that context. First, let's talk about the legality of abortion. Here is a world map displaying global reproductive rights. Each country legislates abortion differently. In reality, only 6 nations in the world completely outlaw abortion in any instance. That is Chile, the Dominican Republic, El Salvador, Nicaragua, Malta, and the Vatican City. All other countries have a gradient of what justifies an abortion. For instance, women in Ireland can get an abortion only if it is to save her life. In Norway, the restrictions are on young women and girls. If you are Norwegian and under 18, in order to get an abortion, you must get permission from your parents. Explore worldabortionlaws.com to check out our region's reproductive rights. Now we're going to talk about abortion in terms of health. In general, there are 2 kinds of abortion, medical and surgical. The medical abortion refers to taking a drug or a medication to induce an abortion. For surgical, it is a medical procedure. Both can be considered safe if the medication they are given is high quality, they are also given adequate information, and that they have support. In terms of surgical abortion, the medical personnel who is carrying out the procedure must be trained, and it should be under sanitary conditions and with correct medical equipment. Under these circumstances, when abortion is safe, it is safer than childbirth. When abortion is unsafe, it can lead to permanent disability and even death. Each year, an estimated 22 million unsafe abortions occur, resulting in the deaths of 47,000 women and injury for an additional 5 million women. 13% of maternal mortality is due to unsafe abortion. We must remember that almost every death and injury as a result of unsafe abortion is preventable through the provisions of safe abortion services. Although we've talked about abortion in terms of rights and health as separate issues, these terms are very much intertwined. For instance, in places where abortion is legal or less restricted, abortion is more likely to be safe. Where abortion is illegal or more restricted, abortion is more likely to be unsafe. Because remember, when we're talking about the legality of abortion, there are only 6 nations in the world where abortion is completely illegal. But there are many nations where abortion is restricted to the point where it is inaccessible for all of the women who need an abortion. We can talk about terms of accessibilities also with young people. For instance, going back to what we learned about Norway, abortion is legal, it is safe, but it could be inaccessible for young people who need permission from their parents in order to get an abortion. Unsafe abortion is a public health concern, especially for young people. Worldwide, young women under the age of 20 make up 70% of all hospitalizations resulting from unsafe abortion complications. The final message I want to leave you with is abortion is common. Most likely you know someone who's had an abortion. The World Health Organization estimates that 1 in 5 pregnancies will end in abortion. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you are curious to learn more about abortion, please check out these links.